to the Stranger Still podcast. I'm Kathleen.
I'm Miles.
I'm Kirk.
And welcome back to our chapter-by-chapter deep dive into each episode of Season 5, Volume 1.
Hello.
Now, at the end of each of these episodes, we're going to end with our favorite moments. Kirk's funny moment, my feeler moment, and Miles' music moment. So please join us today. Chapter 2, The Vanishing of Holly Wheeler.
Welcome, old and new listeners. We love Stranger Things. The podcast motto is the tall task of dugging into why we love Stranger Things.
And keep in mind, this is a spoiler for all of Volume 1. We have seen all of it. We're going to be talking about aspects of all 4 chapters that have currently been released.
Yep.
So if you have only seen through the second chapter, stop right now, go watch those, and come back to our podcast.
No ads, no fluff. Let's roll.
All
okay.
right.
I got a glass of wine.
Yeah.
You got a glass of wine, Kathleen. Kirk.
I got a beer.
I like your style.
But it feels, we've never had a glass of wine for the podcast ever. I think this
That's right.
This is our 67th podcast together, Kathleen.
Wow.
Let's cheers wines. And this is Kirk's
I feel
11th.
like we should have cheers into the microphone. So
Should we
people-
cheers into the mic?
So they know that we're...
Well, how are you going to do that? Which mic are we cheersing into?
Okay, I think you can hear that. Yeah. All right. Sorry, guys.
After I just said no ads, no fluff, we go into that. All right, let's dive right into the episode here. A hot start. One of the most intense cold opens of the entire series. The Demogorgon comes out of the ceiling of Holly's room, and we got the upside down in the Wheeler house. It's absolutely insane.
You say one of the most, but I think this is the most intense.
I was thinking about that. Is this more intense than Steve and Nancy having sex intercut between Barb getting eaten in the pool? Yeah. I could those two. There's also the van scene that opens up an episode in season 1 where the kids are being chased by the vans and 11 flips one. I
thought, beginning of season 4 with all the dead kids in that room, that was something. I guess it wasn't intense, but it was still shocking.
It was, I was tense watching that. I mean,
I was intense.
I don't know, but this is like, this was such a big, threshold to cross that we're in the Wheeler house. So to me, it felt so huge. We gave this scene a short shrift in our instant reactions podcast.
God, we talked about it a lot.
I think we didn't talk about it at all, really, in the instant reaction pod.
Maybe
Not
I didn't
enough.
say.
Not
maybe
enough.
I didn't say much, but I think I was just, oh man, oh my gosh, could you guys believe that?
Because when we watched it, this was like the number 2 moment that got us going, the edge of our seats, second to the battle at the Big Mac, which happens at the very end.
Right. This
was the big moment. So Demogorgon comes out of the ceiling. Holly runs to the bathroom. Karen is there starting a bath, listening to ABBA. Holly runs in, and one last Karen oblivious line: "Whatever you saw, it's just a nightmare." And I love that they gave us this one more feasible moment. I almost thought the Demogorgon's not coming.
Oh, yeah,
Did
right?
Oh, really?
didn't.
I did not think that. I thought, oh my gosh, it's going to be too late to take action because she doesn't believe Holly.
"Please trust me, Mom," she says. That was brutal. That just, my God.
And then she feels the blood on the back of the head, and she's like, oh my
man.
God.
And what's Ted doing? He's golfing.
Ted's out there golfing, taking out some anger swings. The previous fight.
Well, what did you think, Mr. Golf Coach? What did you think of Ted's swing?
He's got a decent swing. Okay. I mean, it's hard, especially with a coat like that, because he's kind of got the tight kind of suit, so you can't get a full back swing. It's definitely got an old man swing. You can't rotate that back enough.
Old man swing. I like that.
And, he's working on his 9-iron. That ball's getting a lot of height. He's not just cranking those suckers out there. By the way, a waste of golf balls. Just shanking them into the woods.
He makes 6 figures in the 80s. He can afford that.
That's fair. Yeah, but, he's just closing that club face a little bit, pulling it off to the left, hitting those tree branches. It's okay. It's a good swing.
That's what he's working on, though. He's working on not pulling that as much.
Making solid contact.
Now, I don't know that any of our listeners were expecting a lesson in golf swing, so I love it. You can expect anything from us, guys.
Oh, yeah.
A deep dive into Ted's golf swing was, I think, one of the first things we talked about.
Right?
So Fernando is playing. Ted notices the flickering lights. We cut back into the bathroom. We've got ABBA. Did you guys know this song by ABBA?
Yes.
Okay, you did.
I've heard
it's
this
one of their
before.
big hits.
Yeah,
I mean, I prefer Waterloo, but
Yeah.
what a weird choice as a track.
It's such a
I
happy
loved it.
song while
Yeah.
the Demogorgon's just, bashing up the bathroom.
That's what makes it so good. The
Yeah.
contrast.
And it's
Yeah.
not like just dropped in. This is what Karen was listening to, right? This was like
Yeah.
on her player as she was getting ready for her bath. Ted comes up. Oh, what the heck? Heavens to Betsy.
Heavens to Betsy.
Heavens to
Yeah,
Betsy.
right?
That line.
Karen, everything all right?
Holy smokes.
Holy smokes. Karen and Holly, it is not all right. They have chosen to hide in the bathtub and hold their breath.
Not a lobster tank.
Not a lobster tank. Yes. And, the Demogorgon is kind of slowly searching the bathroom, shoves open the cabinet, breaks open the shower door. You think he's going to grab in the bathtub, but he's gone because he's gone to confront Ted, who he demolished, referring to the Demogorgon.
Dude, stop for a second. Could you guys breathe when you're watching them underwater? Because I was like holding my
did
breath
seem
during
a
that
little
scene.
long.
Oh my gosh. I was like, they're not going to make it.
Oh, yeah. The bubbles are already coming out of the mouths. I mean, I don't know how long they actually tried to hold that. Yeah.
Right. There's a lot of soap in there, too. Good thing.
Good thing for the soap.
Obscured him. Karen, the heavy pour on the bubble bath was important.
Yeah.
It did the trick.
So Ted confronts the Demogorgon with the golf club. He tells it to stay back, which is the most Ted thing ever.
I know, right?
Stay back.
Stay back. Stay back.
The Demogorgon just slices him right into Mike's room. Just blood, gaping
my
hole. I
gosh.
think you see like some organs there. Like
Yeah,
it is
It looked
brutal.
like intestines were out.
What did you think, Kathleen? Did you think you had predicted that Ted would die a heroic death?
Oh my gosh.
Does this qualify as heroic for you?
My first thought when I saw Ted, okay, first off, I have to say, Ted is a good dad that loves his family. That was very apparent in this scene. He knows something bad is going on in the house. He goes in, he sees all the destruction, and he does not back down at all. He doesn't even hesitate for a second. He has got his golf club and he is ready to defend his family. So huge points to Ted.
Okay.
I definitely thought, oh my gosh, second episode, my prediction about Ted dying a heroic death, it's going to happen just now. But then he's taken out so quickly. And then I was like, oh my God, they just killed Ted just like that. And then later, Karen, I was like, they just made orphans of the Wheeler kids. How did this just happen? Episode 2? That's it for Karen?
Oh, just like the Demogorgon appearing at the end of episode 1, like we talked about, they're getting us right into the action. Though, of course, we later find out they didn't die, but we didn't know that at the time. Ted's slash helps Karen and Holly find a window to go downstairs into the kitchen. The Demogorgon busts through the door instead of going down the stairs, which I don't know why he's doing it.
I did too. I like that too. Well, he does it for quick access. I think he's he can sense where they are. They're predators.
And it looks cool.
It looks cool.
Rule of cool, baby. Why does Demogorgon just stand there while Karen slashes it with wine? Because it's cool.
Yeah.
We're in an adventure store. Let's have some fun. Karen gets some hits in there too.
Oh, yeah.
Stay away from my daughter. A slightly drunk reading, which makes sense. We don't know how many bottles Karen is down.
I think she had the whole bottle.
I think it gave her some
she
liquid
definitely finished
courage.
up at least one bottle.
When she breaks that thing, it's
pouring that thing upside
down.
down.
No liquid comes out.
Yeah. She gets some hits on it. I mean, just slash, slash, slash. And we actually go away from the scene and we come into Nancy's point of view, which I thought was a really interesting choice. We don't see what happens. We go to Nancy, who's radioing with Mike and Lucas, and we see Nancy come into the house and see Karen on the floor, wasn't able to make a dial tone call, to 911.
Yeah, the aftermath.
And then we flash back into what happened. Demogorgon hits her, blood splatters over Holly. This was a powerful, powerful moment to kind of reframe it within Nancy's perspective. I really liked that.
Yeah, me too. Because you think for a minute, oh my gosh, they're maybe going to make it.
Yeah.
11's going to be able to like follow the Demogorgon. Well, I thought that at first, but then like I did remember, it's called The Vanishing of Holly Wheeler. So she had to have been taken.
Title card spoiled us again. Or I guess it hasn't happened yet, but
it was like, it was definitely messing with me. I did think like, oh my God, I had some hope there that 11, they were going to make it in time.
pretty brutal cuts on Karen. Like, and Ted. We see some like Stranger Things is TVMA this season. Hasn't been before.
The gore.
Wait, not even for the snap of the leg?
Not even for the snap of the leg. That was TV 14.
Wow.
This was a brutal slash.
Yeah,
This
the whole
was
season has some brutality to it. What do you guys think about the fact that they didn't die? I'm just gonna rip this Band-Aid off. Is it kind of weird they didn't die?
It's making me lean more towards a happy ending towards the end rather than a bittersweet.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just a little surprised. I feel like they could have died right there. Mm-hmm. Maybe you needed a little bit more information out of Karen. It feels like Ted should be dead.
He looked like he did. Well, I wasn't sure, but at the end of after we finished watching, you were like, Ted's dead. Ted's just died.
I thought he
how
was
could
dead.
he not have survived
I saw
that?
his intestines
and then I
there.
thought more about it, and I was like, I think you're right. Like, how could he have survived that? It was shocking to find out that they had survived. But you all know how I feel. I want everybody to live.
Yeah,
I was thinking
hospital doing some work.
Yeah,
Oh,
hospital, they got some work to do. They got some work to do.
Except maybe the smoking doctor. I don't
Smoking
know.
doctor. I think one of the reasons they probably didn't die, probably the happy ending, but also like Mike and Nancy still have this whole adventure to go on, and there's probably some lightness to it. We don't want like Mike and Will having casual conversations when his parents just died.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's probably more the narrative reason.
Okay, I hadn't thought about it like that. Yeah.
Before we move to the last scene, I just want to say I kind of opened with this, but the Wheeler house is gone. Like, I said we crossed a threshold. This felt like such a big deal to me. The Duffers had said they've been dying to destroy Hawkins, destroy the Wheeler house, and they kind of held it off. First, props to them for holding it off for so long, right?
Yeah.
We're in the final season, but to me, it felt like death is not the only stake. We just complained about that. The Wheeler house is destroyed. That's what you get for inviting the buyers in, right?
How do you...
they just bring trouble. Yeah.
Bring trouble.
Poor buyers, putting all the blame on them.
That thing's a full crime scene now. I mean, I'd be surprised if we maybe get back to the basement at some point. But yeah, it seems like that's the end of the Wheeler house. I can't imagine really going back there.
Well, I mean, think about the cabin. They fixed up the cabin.
That's true. That's true. So there's hope. There's hope for it, but not in this time frame.
If Karen and Ted had died, going back to the house after that would feel impossible.
Yeah. So we follow them to the hospital. They are very bloodied. They are being wheeled in. The door closes on Nancy, Mike, and Lucas. And this was one of the best acting moments from Nancy I've seen in the whole series. Her face has that same steely determination, but it also has mommy, and she goes to that wonderful shot in the bathroom. We didn't know whose blood she was washing off. Now we know it's Karen's. That bluish yellow tile with the bright pink soap and the deep red blood. I don't know why I keep calling that shot out, but I love that shot.
It is a great shot. And, I just remember when we were talking about that, we had hypothesized that like Jonathan could die, and we're like, "Oh my God, maybe it's Jonathan's blood." She's, she's tried to save him, and he died.
And you thought she would kill him.
I got dark on it.
So like to find out it was, I never guessed that Karen was gonna get slashed up and almost killed by the Demogorgon. I was so not expecting that.
So Mike and Nancy have this initial conversation, which I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on, which is basically, this was our fault. What? Do you think it is their fault? They never told Ted, Karen, or Holly what kind of danger they were really in.
Yeah, that's a tough call because it's not believable unless you see it. I feel like no character that has been introduced to this situation has really believed it until they oh my God.
Seen it.
Yeah. How do you explain 11 to Karen? I would say Karen. I feel like if you just told Ted, he's just going to blow you off. But,
But Karen, I feel like could believe it. Ted, you don't tell Ted. But Karen, though,
they could roll in Joyce and Hopper for some backup too.
I feel like Nancy gets the proposition of we should have just get him out of Hawkins.
Right.
Like while everybody was leaving, let's get them away from all the bad. Like that was the opportunity. But once you got quarantined in, it's over. So I feel like their option was it was taken away from them because they just paused it a little too long.
Just that little window was only.
So, I mean, it's partial fault, but it's also like, I don't know how you would really explain that in the moment.
I think they're putting unjust guilt on themselves here. Karen never would have left without her kids, not in a million years. So that really wasn't actually an option. And telling them, I mean, it's better to have as few people know, especially about 11, as possible. I mean, that's like a theme throughout is, especially from Hopper, don't tell anyone. Fewer people is better. So I understand why they didn't tell them, but Karen, I feel like could have come to it. I do feel like she trusts Nancy a lot. So I feel like there was a way in which she could have been in on it.
And Nancy has the extra guilt. As Mike says, it makes no goddamn sense. And Nancy says it does make goddamn sense. And then they say, well, it doesn't make goddamn sense. TVMA, swearing is back. Right, Kirk?
Yeah, let's go.
But Nancy has the extra added guilt of knowing that this was the vision she was shown.
Yeah.
Presumably this may have been the vision. I don't know if she saw exactly this with the dial tone and Karen laying and Ted upstairs bleeding out. But
she said everybody's dead.
Yeah. Well, she didn't say. She just trailed off.
Oh, okay.
She didn't say they were dead there either.
I think you're about to get to this, and I'm going to jump the gun here. But I was super pumped that Lucas is the one that comes in with the brains and the logic here. I really liked that. I mean, they're all very smart. All of the friends, that's how they were close friends. They're all nerds together. But it's usually like Mike or Dustin, and this time it was Lucas coming in like with the clear head to be like, "Hey, I think something's going on here." He mentions the date, which we've all known, like, okay, it makes sense that this is going to happen around the beginning of November when Will was taken.
Right? November 3rd.
But thinking about it more, like, is there a reason this time of year is significant? Is there a reason Will was taken November 6th? Is there then a reason that this is happening on November 3rd? Like, do you think there's any relevance there?
I think Henry's just a show off. They talked about him escalating from 3rd. He's going to take 1 kid. He's going to take 2 kids next day, 4 kids next day. I think he's just being a dramatic,
why
bad
the
guy.
same time of year, though?
Yeah, I think there's something to Henry, Vecna, Mr. What's-It, all the names he has. I think there's something to his, like, this time of year. Something about some dark memory there.
Okay, thank you, Kirk, because I was wondering the same thing.
There's something's got to come up with, like, the rocks with Max. I know we're not there yet, but, like, there's some sort of traumatizing event. I'm assuming it happens around this time.
Yeah.
So he's bringing out the vengeance in a full circle moment for himself. I'm going to rid this day of me with my glory.
That's what I was thinking. Like, maybe he came into powers at this time. Maybe this is when Dr. Brenner started experimenting on him, or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see anything like what big moment would you get? And it was also November. Like, I think he's just being dramatic, but I do love what you said. Like, Lucas brings them. Lucas doesn't say anything. Lucas says, we need to pull back from our assumptions and use our real superpower, which is, we don't know.
Yeah.
That's
the best thing he says.
That's the whole party's superpower, which I love. It's like Lucas, like, no. We don't know about the vision. We don't know why they're alive. We got to think, and we don't know.
Yeah, and I love that he says he doesn't believe in coincidences. He's like, each thing that somebody's getting shown is like, we gotta like trust this now.
Yeah,
this is all kind of a fate situation. Like this is happening for a reason.
Yeah, we're putting together puzzle pieces, but we don't see the puzzle. Lucas right sets everybody, and he goes to give a pep talk to Max as well.
Yeah.
Which his pep talk to Max is, we're gonna need to wake up now. We need the whole party, everybody, because the final battle started tonight. What did you think of this moment, Kathleen? Lucas being your favorite boy.
Oh, well, I mean, of course it was super emotional, but I just, it's like, how many times has this how many times has he had this exact conversation? Obviously
that's
not
heartbreaking.
this exact, because this is the first time the Demogorgon comes back and like all this horrible stuff has happened. But how many times has he been by her bedside pleading, crying out, just come back to me, give me a sign, anything. So it just felt so routine, so repeated for him, which
That's
was
a good
like
point.
just hit you even harder.
Yeah, there's a weariness, and like we talked about last episode,
The weariness,
the
yeah.
toll that this time. Yeah, that's a great point. He could have been doing this type of thing for a long time.
Yeah.
Give me a sign, particularly that hurt.
Yeah,
Right.
18 months of that, It's, every day, and then it becomes kind of every week. Then you're kind of like, oh, how long am I going to do this? How long am I going to have hope for this? And it's like he finally comes back full circle. He's like, man, like almost felt like his last plea to me. Like,
Yes, like his last plea, yeah.
Yeah.
he's like, we need you. Like, this would be the time. No coincidences. Like, wake up, help us out. Like that was, and I think he's right. He needs Max's help. He just doesn't know how. Obviously, Max is in the mind world. So
I love how if you're planning on resurrecting, you should do it now.
Did anybody when they?
He's always straight to the point.
he is, yeah.
I wondered in this scene, like part of me really wanted some sort of like hand twitch or eye movement for Lucas, but I think it would have been bad for the story for that to happen.
Oh yeah.
But for Lucas, I wanted that. You're so invested emotionally with these characters, but then they showed the heart monitor for a long time, and I was like, "Oh my god, are they gonna kill her? Is her heart gonna stop?" Yeah, that's what I thought, and I was like, "No!" I had a moment of fear.
It goes up a little bit. She actually does give the sign.
Oh.
Does it go up?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like at 60, and it goes to like 63 or something. Like it just kind of like,
Really?
yeah.
Okay, so you're saying that Max could maybe have heard that?
Yeah.
Well, and we find out
I did not pick up on that.
we do find out later that she does hear that conversation.
That conversation?
Yeah, because she said, "I could feel his hand in my hand."
Well, that could have been any of the
Well,
previous.
that's true. I did just say, like, I felt like this was
Yeah.
a scene that played out multiple
That's
times.
it. I'll have to rewatch that to see the number, because I thought they were kind of playing with us on the TV tropes. Like they were like, look at this.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Flatlining.
I'm pretty sure it went up, and I mean, based on what I know about comas, like you can hear, they can hear you. Like that's kind of what they say. So
Yeah.
So back in the second waiting room conversation for Nancy and Mike, Lucas has gone over to Max's. He knows his way around the hospital, so he's just floating around.
Oh, yeah.
Saying hi. Nancy and Mike really begin the plan with the proposition that, thanks to Lucas's pep talk, like, okay, let's start over. And they essentially land on, what if Mr. Whatsit isn't a figment of Holly's imagination? What if he's real? And at first Nancy is skeptical, but Mike, of course, says, hey, you're the investigative reporter. You take the next step here. And the Wheeler kids, the Wheeler siblings working as a team. Kirk, you called that out in our instant reactions.
Yeah, no, it's great to see them working together, because it seems like seasons that we just haven't like seen the Wheelers be as one, or just be siblings in general.
There's like little moments, but you're right.
They're always apart, but like, I don't know. If there was anything that Nancy and Mike talked about this being our fault, how did they not know Mr. Whatsit might be Vecna? How do we not make this guess or this leap, knowing what you know? There's an invisible man talking to our little sister. Like, you didn't at some point be like, you know what? We know this guy that kind of goes into people's minds and makes them see things.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a connected somewhere.
Right.
Well, I think that speaks to why they believe it in the first place once they get talking here. Because that itself is kind of a jump. Like, people might complain the other way and be like, how did they figure that out?
Okay,
but that didn't bother me too much. I thought maybe they didn't really fully understand. And to my understanding, Mr. Whatsit is a character in the book that Holly is reading, and they seem to have familiarity with the book. So they're like, "Oh, Holly, she's just into the book,
just imaginative."
I guess I don't know, but
I could
maybe they're
see
not
that.
paying attention.
And I don't know that's
also,
A Wrinkle in Time. Is that what that story is?
Yeah,
I never read it, so
me neither.
Also, it's like made clear throughout these episodes too that nobody suspects anything would happen to Holly. Like nothing has ever been connected to her. So I think it just has never even occurred to them that Holly could be contacted by Vecna.
They must not have seen the titles of the episodes ahead of time.
I guess not. Yeah, but it was nice to like have the siblings kind of know that each other's like personalities. Like Mike playing towards Nancy's ego, and she even admits that.
Yeah.
But Nancy's like, use those puppy dog eyes to the nurse. Like they kind of get how each other work.
Yes, they use each other's strengths.
Yeah.
They really become more than a total of their parts.
Yeah.
I think that's really great. And they essentially the plan they come up with. Well, first is just to ask the doctor, which I think is great. I love Stranger Things sometimes. It's like, well, first we should just ask him.
Let's go down the process.
But he turns out to be a fat, misogynistic, smoking doctor.
God.
When he calls her sweetheart.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I almost thought he's dying later in this episode.
I cringed instantly, at that, the sweetheart, and then he touches her shoulder. It just made me like, ugh.
I know. It was such a good moment though, like well acted. Yeah. But everybody had to cringe during that.
Oh,
and that is every 70-year-old doctor in the 1980s.
Exactly.
That was probably light for that time.
Oh yeah.
It was very common for doctors to smoke. I remember one of my old bosses said he would go to the dentist before they wore gloves and he could taste the nicotine on his dentist's fingers. So like it just to relate this, like that was very believable that these doctors were smoking back then.
It relaxes you. Yeah.
Well, they implement plan number 2, which is take advantage of the hospital's incredibly lax security. I think they could have just walked up even without the costumes.
I know, right? We're thinking of what is that, season 3?
Yeah, when they just walk through the wings.
Yeah.
Like they know their way around. They battled a portion of the meat flare here as well. No one noticed.
Now, is this the same hospital?
Probably. How many hospitals does Hawkins have?
Yeah, they got multiple
5.
hospitals.
No.
Hawkins doesn't seem that big. No. Yeah.
So they get to Karen, who they wake up, out of her surgery, and they ask her some questions about Mr. What's-It. I thought I saw some really, speaking of reasons why Karen should have lived and why Cara Buono should have continued in the show, some really fantastic, subtle acting from her.
God.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things I noticed was, especially in regards to Mike, she senses their experience in this matter, their calmness in the face of her daughter missing.
I noticed that too.
And she's kind of like, okay, you guys are on this? I thought you guys were teenagers just goofing around. You're on the missing child taken by an interdimensional creature? That was very subtle.
Yeah, I think it's a testament to how well she knows her kids. I mean, I just said that, but she doesn't know anything about the Upside Down and all of what's happened the last several years.
No one's been more oblivious than Karen and Ted, but in different ways.
But you see how well, throughout the seasons, you see how well she knows her kids. You see she knows something happened between Nancy and Steve. She knows Nancy lost her virginity. She just knows it. Mm-hmm. So she knows her kids. And so I saw that too, Miles. I like that she trusted that they actually had something, and that helped to calm her and focus her.
Yeah.
Because in that moment, she's hopped up on drugs. Most people would be terrified and not be able to think coherently. And she is.
She managed to scribble out Henry as the name of Mr. What's-It.
I thought the line of questioning there was really great, to the point. Karen's obviously in pain, panicked a little bit, but the kids are very just straightforward. We think Mr. What's-It might be more. And she's like, who? Her responses on the paper are very short, to the point. That whole line of questioning there was really realistic to me.
Yeah. Nice. Especially for their characters, how they are.
Yeah. And they're all clarifying stuff W, do you mean What's-It?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And then he writes out Henry, which I don't think any of the audience needed. We all knew that. We get that paired. This is kind of the end of the episode. Obviously, we'll be circling back around, but we get that paired with the reveal that Holly is in the Mind Creel house.
Dude,
and
loved
we
that.
see the figure finally turn around, and it is Henry. And he gives he's smiling, and he turns around and he just gives a sour, just evil look as he closes that door. And you're oh no. And then, of course, the music. Boom, 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 Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Bring me a dream. Yeah, creepy use of it.
Yeah.
I think this was in Halloween, right? This is a Freddy Krueger thing. They did this.
Oh, okay.
I know they did it in Back to the Future as well, because that was called out.
I
on
knew
the
it
internet.
was in something creepy, but I didn't know what.
So Holly is tubed, right? She's tubed and she's in this imaginary world.
Yeah. I have to say, one of the first things I thought of as we're doing those flashbacks to this like happy, jolly 1950s house that she's walking hand in hand with Mr. What's-It, I thought like, okay, she just saw this crazy ass monster that chased her around the house and saw her mother basically get killed. She wasn't sure her mom survived that when it was happening. Splatters blood across her face. Then this thing takes her into another world across this meat wall. And then she's so calm. She's so calm with Henry in the, like, obviously dreamland. He's like entered her mind. So I'm thinking like, what did he tell her that happened that she's like, okay, everybody's okay.
How vivid are the things between, maybe it is dreamland, so maybe it's very dreamlike and not quite connecting.
I think at this point she still like believes that Henry can help her from the monsters.
Yeah.
And
she believes everything he says. She's like, good news about mom and dad.
Yeah.
I mean, she is like what, 7? We were trying to figure out her age.
She's between 7 and 12. 9. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. And don't think about it.
And we don't have to know. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you something I've never told you before, Kathleen. I hate barbershop music. This won't be my music moment of the episode. Learn an instrument.
Okay.
Learn an instrument. And Mr. Sandman, a folkloric hero who puts sand in people's eyes to make them sleep. I get it as magic sand, but why? Is there other types of sand?
Can you imagine somebody throwing gritty sand into your eyeballs?
Is there other types of stuff in your eyes that helps you? There's no connection between these two things. I know it's folkloric, but I just,
A sour taste at the end.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah.
All right, let's pivot to something we did not discuss in chapter 1, and let's talk about the bad guys, the human bad guys that we're setting up across these 2 chapters. We have Sullivan, who makes an appearance again. Sullivan, of course, in season 4, does multiple things across chasing down 11 and ultimately makes the call to kill 11, and she thwarts that by blowing up the helicopter in season 4. But he's there in the Wheeler house. They're taking pictures of the dolls. Oh, thank God they got those pictures of how the dolls were set up. He's surly. Yeah, go ahead.
I was surprised that Sullivan was going to be in this season. Honestly, after season 4, I thought like behind the scenes, like you're fired, man. You failed. Like a bunch of people died. Like we're going to move on to somebody else. Well, the fact that they kept him, you already like had so much anger and disgust for him. To have that carry over, I think is a good move.
Well, it has. He's not fired, but maybe even worse, has been made subordinate to a new person, which is Dr. K.
Yeah.
And you get the sense that that's a tense relationship as well. What are you guys thinking of Dr. K and her first 2 appearances from Linda Hamilton, seemingly in both these episodes dismissing 2 guys who came to give her updates? First one is an idiot for coming at all. And the second one saying, don't tell me this ever again until you have her.
Yeah.
Evil scientist.
Evil scientist.
It's like, I know she's an evil scientist, but I still kind of liked her.
Yeah. Well, she,
like her sarcasm and just like dismissive approach to the morons that come in and give her information.
Yeah.
I'm like, I like that.
Yeah.
Like she's on point,
She has
it's nice to see a female boss.
Yeah. And she's got kind of an anti-Brenner. She's like not reverent of the scientific process. She's like, you idiots.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know exactly what her game is because we don't really fully dive into her in volume 1, but I'm really interested to see like how she differs from Brenner, and she definitely differs from Sullivan in major ways because she's not a soldier.
You say not reverent of the science like Dr. Brenner. It's funny that you say that. I do think that they're different in that aspect. She's not reverent, but they still have the same like I will do anything to figure out what science can do. I mean, she's like torturing these creatures from the upside down.
Yeah, what the heck is going on there?
Experiment on them. And like, obviously we watched the whole 4 episodes, so we know what happens later with 8. With Collie. So like she will stop at nothing to figure out just how far science can go. She is one of those people that was testing on animals and people, probably like part of like the Nazis when the Nazis were doing horrible
God,
testing
we're
on people.
bringing up the Nazis on the Stranger
Sorry.
Things podcast.
Yeah,
I'm
not
so
the first.
sorry.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like evil scientists.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I get from her.
She's being thorough.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the fact that there's an upside down base?
Oh, yeah.
We didn't talk about that, but it's zoomed out like, whoa.
Yeah.
Wait, are people sleeping there?
I was surprised by it, and I was like, yeah, duh. Like, of course, why wouldn't we do that? Like, we got to learn as much as we can about this upside-down world. We have quarantine off in town. We have a giant, massive crater going through this whole place. Like, we need to set up an operation. We need somebody like Dr. K testing out what these tentacles do, what these little pus balls do, you know?
So you're finally on board with what the military did.
This was the best decision they've made so far. Yeah, the government finally coming through in season 5. Yeah, like you need an operation down there and up top. Mm-hmm. So like I like that they did that, in 18 months. That place looks pretty dang legit.
Yeah.
But
it does seem
full greenhouse, power, everything.
Yeah.
I don't know how they pulled all that off, but it's great.
Well, they clearly didn't have any Demogorgons to deal with until now, so we'll see how it goes
Yeah,
for
right.
Volume 2. But yeah. Are we ready to pivot to Hopper and 11?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So way back at the beginning when we had Karen lying on the floor and Nancy walking in there, she sends 11 into the upside down.
With no pep in her step.
Okay, there's some pep in your step.
Nancy's in full panic. Go, go, go. And
Kirk's
she just does
back to hating 11.
a brisk walk.
A brisk? There's a little bit of pep.
You gotta
purpose
make
in
it
that
through
walk.
the
She's
gate.
timing it up. She's timing it up.
Let's go.
Kirk wanted a sprint.
Get through the gate
Yeah.
as fast as you can. You're trying to catch somebody. God.
Hey, well, Hopper will address some of these things,
Yeah.
but 11 steps foot into the upside down for the first time in 26 chapters of Stranger Things. She has not been in the upside down since the first few minutes of season 2.
Wow, yeah.
yeah.
And
I thought about that.
I mean, that's one of the great things about the fact that we went to the whole mall stuff in season 3. We went to California and Russia in season 4. Some of these really low-hanging fruit stuff. We're in the 5th season, yet 11 has just now come back to the upside down.
Dang.
We don't have to be in the final season wondering, oh, she's back again. Like, I love that they held on to some of this stuff.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem too intimidated, as she shouldn't be.
No.
She's just
No.
strolling through.
No.
And she comes across a sound, a bristle, and she fires it across, and it backs into a tree, and it's Hopper.
Yeah, I knew this was going to be Hopper.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty obvious,
But
right?
just launches him like she launched Lucas in the first season. Just absolutely just hucked him.
God.
She thought it could be a Demogorgon
Yeah.
in this case.
And poor Hopper, man. Just gets tossed. He's already been shot. Just, oh, God.
I know. Like, he could have broken his back. He could have been fully out of commission here.
Oh, yeah.
I have to say, this was the first moment I noticed she uses Hop instead of Dad.
Yeah. I definitely had that down to talk about. What do you think's up with that? Because she definitely referred to him as Dad when she's doing the diorama. He
Yeah.
refers to himself as Dad when he writes the letter. So why is she saying Hop?
I think this is our first sign that there's been a real discontent between them, serious friction between them. So, like as soon as I heard her call him Hop, like my hairs were bristling. I just felt the wrongness of it felt so severe. It felt like I don't even God, I don't know. I could. Let's just move on. Somebody else talk.
Well, we got this whole conversation to break down, this stubborn punk-ass convo. So after 11 tells Hopper that the Demogorgon is hurt, Karen must have got it. Karen, with her wine. Great.
That was so funny.
Wonderful line reading from Millie Bobby Brown. No one does it better. Same, just like piggybacking a pizza dough freezer.
Yeah.
Just like I dump your ass. No one does that humor better. I absolutely love that. They start walking the train tracks where Steve and Dustin did their Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band,
Yeah.
And Hopper can't keep up. 11 is following the blood, and he has to reveal that he's been shot. And so we get the wounded soldier situation. And they have this really a kind of repeat conversation about no dumb rules, basically. You know, they're talking about, why were you in a hoodie? You broke the rules. They're going to know you're there. You're doing things on emotion. And 11 says, no, it's not emotion. It's instinct. And Hopper's like, yeah, I used to do things by instinct too, and I was stupid.
Yeah.
What did you think about this conversation as Hopper essentially calls her out for a lot of what you've been saying, Kirk?
Thank you, Hopper. I was completely on Hopper's side. And I mean, I get it, because 11's not socially like there. She's a teenager.
Yeah.
She thinks she kind of knows. I mean, he even calls her out for being arrogant and naive, and I've been using these words. And she is. I feel like it still didn't get through. Like, there was still like this lack of respect. Like, I guess not even calling him dad anymore, calling him Hop. You know, he gives him the whole. Hop gives 11 the whole the sob story. You know, with his daughter.
I would say he opens up in a way he hasn't opened up before. He's not like pitching at her. He's not doing a sob story for manipulative reasons.
He's trying to explain why not to be that way.
Yeah.
You know,
he's opening up. He's crying.
He's like, yeah, I saw a lot of brave men die in Vietnam, you know, and his daughter was the bravest person he's ever saw. And 11's reaction to that is like, well, that's why you don't want me to do this? Like, I just felt like there was no empathy there for Hop. And he even cries there for a second. And 11 just bypasses that.
God.
You know, I was just like, oh, come on, 11. Like, we got to learn this lesson. Like, because I felt so bad for Hopper trying to get the point across.
Man, I felt so opposite
Really?
from you on this.
Well, give us
To
yours.
me, it sounded so much like a repeat. And I think that that's part of what 11 is bristling from. I mean, they've had these conversations before, and then a bunch of horrible stuff happens, and 11 like does incredible things, and then he comes back like, wow, you're the hero. I should have trusted you. And then we always go back to this. Like don't get me wrong. I understand where he's coming from. He loves 11 like his daughter. It's his mindset to be the hero and to protect everybody he loves. So I totally understand why he's doing and saying these things, but I think that is where all of the tension and disconnect is coming from. He said all of this before, and you talk about him opening up, sharing about his daughter, and Miles, you said, Kirk, you said that, and then Miles, you said like, oh yeah, he's sharing in a way that he's never shared before. To me, it does sound minorly manipulating. Like, yes, he feels all these things, but he is specifically saying it to get her to not jump into anything, and she feels that. She can hear that, and I think that's where her reaction is coming from.
Yeah. I think, well, I don't agree with the manipulation thing. I think Hopper is truly opening up. I think Hopper is also, I mean, he has as much experience talking emotionally as 11 does.
Yeah.
He is like a newborn baby with this as well. So we're not going through a normal adult child conversation. They're kind of on the same level in that regard. I think Kirk is right that she doesn't get what he's saying. The last thing she says about, so you think I'm going to lose, you know, does miss the point. But I also think that's going to be the whole arc of the season here. But I have more notes for Hopper, so I fall on your side, Kathleen. Him and Joyce are back to season 2 here, overprotective parents, and you know they're actually causing some of the problems by doing that.
Yeah, she is I mean, granted, she shouldn't be doing this alone. She needs all the help she can get. But she is their best chance of defeating Vecna, and he won't play that card. Just as Joyce won't play the will card. Yeah. I think he's been holding her back. Like you said, this is the first time she's been in the Upside Down. I was expecting, when I saw the training, I thought she was going to be training in the Upside Down. So I was really surprised by that.
Well, what if your best card is as dumb as you were when you were a kid? Like I think it all comes together. I think they both have a point, which is good writing.
I think you're right. And what manipulating is probably too strong of a word. Yeah. But I do think he's using those stories.
They do have a real relationship. I mean, we're going to need this, and then we're going to need a revisit of the bitchin' conversation. Which is ironic because this music was very similar to the bitching conversation. It's not my music moment of the week, but it was, very similar to the score track that played under the bitching scene. It's called "I Shouldn't Have Lied."
Oh, see, I like that.
I think Hop I think he explained it very well as an adult to a kid. When he says something like, I've been alive enough years to know how this plays out.
Yeah.
And it's just classic, good writing, because as a kid, you don't believe the adult. You're like, yeah, sure, whatever. Even though if you've seen it as an adult, you're like, oh, God, I know. I remember that feeling. I remember how I ignored all that crap, too.
Yeah.
And Hopper even admits that, but he's still just trying to push his point. He's like, and it's such a hard thing for kids to learn,
right?
To take some of that advice, to use a little more logic rather than instinct and emotion,
right?
Just to trust other people a little bit. Maybe he's being a little overprotective, but I feel like he's really just trying to make a good parenting moment here that just goes over Eleven's head.
Well, I think the one thing we can agree on is they leave this stubborn punk ass convo without really making the connection that they're trying to make.
Unresolved.
The only other
definitely feels unresolved.
The only other thing they do in this episode is run into the meat wall. And they come in the Hop. What is that?
Question for you, Miles.
Okay.
Let's hear it. How big is this meat wall?
Thank you. Thank you for asking. It is 300 feet. Slightly more than a football field. What I said, my instant reaction, I think was actually accurate. And yes, I paused. I put my fingers on the screen and moved little Hopper's if he's 6 foot, I just called him basically 6 foot. I moved him up on my hands. I think we got a 300-foot meat wall, folks.
Does it ever really show the top of it?
It does kind of get to the top there, but it's unclear if it's,
I was like, because I'm still questioning if it's a meat wall or a meat dome.
No, it does. It does show. It breaks up there. Okay. You can see the lightning flash and
Okay, all right. So we don't have a meat dome.
Don't have a meat dome situation.
Dude, and it's disgusting. It's a living meat wall.
Those little pus balls and everything. Oh. Yeah, it's disgusting. Oh, yeah, you're right.
I love it. All right.
What is it?
We got to move. We got to move.
Sorry.
We got to get to. Yeah. Well, let's talk Steve,
we could
Jonathan.
Talk all day.
We could. We got Steve, Jonathan, and Dustin. And then I got a lot to say about Will too. So let's get going here.
Oh yeah, right.
Steve, Jonathan, and Dustin. Really just 2 scenes. The first one is Steve and Jonathan jump starting the van.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
They have a quick conversation about Nancy where Jonathan basically said, are we really going to have this macho competition for Nancy's attention? And Steve's like, what are you talking about? We should just go to the hospital and give her some flowers. And Jonathan's like, really, man? Give it a rest. And they kind of escalate that into Jonathan saying, you're a meathead who's showing off, and it's a really shitty thing to do. And Steve says, you're a bad boyfriend. Nancy's miserable.
The only one more miserable in that relationship other than you is Nance.
Yeah, it's good. I like them both calling each other out. And they're both right about the other person.
Agreed, 100%.
Yeah, like they both know they're in the wrong. I just feel bad for the girl doing the jump start.
Oh my God, she's stuck with this awkward situation, which clearly she's pissed at Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Rails on the horn.
Bopper?
And into the bad vibes steps Dustin, bloodied and on a bike, gives a quick wave, takes Jonathan's spot in the shotgun, and starts fighting with Steve as well. They trade some barbs here. Like, they have a similar no-holds barred fight where they kind of go over what they've been struggling with for 18 months.
Yeah, but to contrast the conversation with Jonathan, Steve is right with everything that he's saying. And Dustin is just attacking him. Dustin is jabbing, trying to hurt him by insulting his intelligence.
Yes.
Whereas Steve is calling him out for all of the stupid things he's been doing. I really felt the pain there, the guilt and pain that Dustin is feeling. That's when you lash out at other people to push them away.
Yeah, this felt like Steve being a good older brother and Dustin kind of knowing what pisses off Steve.
Right.
Yeah.
His intelligence especially, like you were saying.
That's a hot spot for Steve because Steve knows exactly what happened. Like, oh, would you fall off your bike into a knuckle sandwich?
Yeah.
Was it Andy? Like, he knows exactly what happened.
Just admit you're wrong for once in your life.
Yeah.
And Dustin won't take that, even my mom could fix a power surge.
Yeah,
It's like-
I know Dustin takes some shots
Yeah.
there. I agree with you, Kathleen. Steve is right and Dustin is lashing.
Yeah. I also want to add, despite how like charged this whole situation is, it just felt good to have Dustin back with everybody. Like, he's just been gone so far, like most of the first 2 episodes. So glad he's back.
I felt that too. Like just seeing them in the car sitting together.
Yeah.
After those conversations, the laugh that comes when Joyce calls into Jonathan and casually asks if their flux capacitor is working.
Yep.
And the last thing we leave them on in this episode is all 3 of them going, oh, what?
What are you talking about,
even
Joyce?
Steve,
Yeah.
who apparently doesn't know anything about anything, is like, what?
Yeah.
Presumably they know that's a Back to the Future.
That's what I was
reference.
thinking. That sounded like a Back to the Future thing.
I
It
did
is.
not know that was from Back to the Future.
It's very much a Back to the Future reference. And Robin even introduces it with, Great Scott!
yeah.
Like she goes, the flux
Oh
capacitor's
my
down.
God, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And that's what they're watching in season 4.
Season
It's
3?
It's season 3. in
Robin,
the-
she would have need to rewatch.
Yeah.
She doesn't
probably
remember it from
rewatched
that one.
Yeah.
but it is funny that she's referencing Back to the Future, and that's the movie
Yeah.
they watch when they're on drugs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's go over to Joyce, Robin, and Will, the final plot line of this episode that we need to discuss. We open it with Joyce and Will at the table having a conversation that felt very season 2. Is this one of your now memories? And Will is still, only more real. Joyce says, we severed the connection. Will's like, I don't think it was ever truly severed. And they're having this deep conversation, interrupted tonally and emotionally by Robin.
Yes. Thank God for Robin. Yeah.
Can I touch on that conversation?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Before Robin interrupts it, basically?
Yeah. So in our reaction podcast, if you listeners listen to that, I kind of talked about how disappointed I was that Will wasn't more like ready to fight mode, and I just like felt this scared little boy so much these first 2 episodes. But rewatching it, like, you see Will's like wheels turning in his brain
Right.
as he's recounting everything to his mom, which is the contrast from season 2.
Yes.
Like, he's a scared little boy that doesn't want to confront the big scary monsters in season 2, but here he's really trying to work out like how can they use this information to his benefit.
The gears are turning for him to take his first step since before season 2.
Yeah.
I have a rant to go on.
Oh, here we go.
I have a rant to go on. Kathleen, you made me think in the last podcast when you were talking about exactly that.
Uh-oh.
You were
Am I in trouble here?
No.
Okay, good.
This was you.
a good thing.
You were right about this. You talked about your disappointment, his weak little boy stuff at the end of chapter 1. The demo vision shook him hard compared to the first scene when he is a little kid and he's jumping tree to tree. Where's that guy? We haven't seen him since he jumped tree to tree.
Yeah.
I really felt that contrast was actually super important. Think about what happened after he jumped the tree. So he's jumping those trees. He's got no upside down inside of him. He gets tubed. He dies.
He gets tubed.
He gets tubed. He dies. He gets revived. He coughs up slugs for a year. He inhales the mind flayer. They pull the mind flayer out of him, but he's still got this deep, smoky, dread connection to the hive mind. God. He has not moved forward at all.
Yeah.
When what we see in this scene particularly, the gears turning, is that little boy who jumped the tree for the first time. Coming back. Like that contrast from the first scene to the last scene of the first chapter is actually super important. Will was actually a badass, but he hasn't been a badass. He hasn't done one badass thing since he jumped that tree.
Damn, I love your rant. That was a good rant, Miles.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm on board with you now, babe.
Yeah.
Well, and I was on board with you when you were kind of ragging on me for.
We should be married.
Oh, you too. Yeah.
I didn't notice the first watch that those wheels were turning. Watching it a second time really helped me see those subtle nuances.
Well, he stops lying too. That helps.
He
Yeah.
stops lying.
Way more honest with Joyce this time around.
Yeah.
He admits he doesn't know things. things. And he's just like, I think it's like this. And he's just, the wheels are turning, but he's like, he's much more open about it. He's being himself about it.
And I think
which we didn't see.
Yeah. And I think the wheels get some traction when Joyce says, well, we can't do this. And he says, she's in the upside down and I won't leave her there.
Yeah.
He breaks from Joyce for the first time. I feel like we're starting to go. That boy who jumped the tree is coming back.
Yep, and he's turning into a man.
Yes, exactly. And Joyce, the game has passed her by.
Yeah.
She's in an old playbook. Like, we got to talk about Joyce and what she's doing here. She wants them to just kind of
stick to the plan.
Stick to the crawl.
Yeah.
And I'm laughing at your subtle sports reference there.
Yeah, exactly. I had a lot of references to give, but I won't.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
She doesn't accept that the plan's not working. The plan is already gone. Hop's, we're not finding Hop right now.
If you think of it, since season 1, she has been protect my son mode, and she's just not able to let go of that.
Yeah, and she doesn't recognize that Will and Robin have said the right thing. Will has an antenna in his head. We should go back to that spot and see if we can pick something up. Now that 2 of us, Holly and Hopper, and presumably 11, but not as much, are in the upside down, and we need information. Yeah. And their plan is right. We just talked about the way that Robin implements this plan, which is, Great Scott!
Yeah.
You're the flux capacitor. We got to go fix this, but it's a 2-man job.
Oh, yeah.
Total Back to the Future. Joyce clearly hasn't seen it.
Yes.
Oh, that's so funny.
Robin and Will go out into the night. What time is it? I don't know, because they're about to come up on the school. Kirk.
I know, right? Just walking through the woods the entire night.
And not afraid, by the way, which is like, I don't know. I'm not comfortable walking in the woods alone. And then this is without the upside down and Demogorgons.
And then school starts and there's just these 2 teenagers just standing in the playground. Like, what's going on?
Exactly. What is happening?
The 80s, man. Yeah.
That's the 80s. They have 2 kind of cool talks on the way. Robin says, hey, like, you weren't at the hospital the other day.
Oh,
No. And it's like, hey, because some people might not understand my friendship with Vicky. Like, they begin the seeds of that conversation that's going to come up, which I think is really important. Yeah. And Will remembers through seeing the spinning mandala. Is it mandala?
Mandala, yeah. And he just cuts off Robin on that. Like, that's great.
That.
Yeah.
Now, is it, though? Is it mandala or mandala?
Good question.
I don't know. I didn't do that in 5th grade, so I don't know.
He remembers he heard children laughing. We go to the school, and he identifies the next target by sheer luck, but he does it. Dipshit Derek walks right by, and he goes, that's the next guy.
Yeah.
That guy right there. Yeah. He's the next one.
And that's all intercut with Karen writing Henry onto the thing, and we're seeing Holly in the Creel house, and the episode ends.
I love
with Mr. Sandman.
I love when the Duffer Brothers do that, when they cut in all of the storylines. They've done that a few times throughout the seasons, where they just they're bringing everybody's story together at the same time with different clips. I really love that too.
All right, let's get to the finale. Kirk's funny moment, Kathleen's feeler moment, Miles's music moment of the episode. Kirk, let's start with you. What's the funny moment of chapter 2?
The funny moment's got to be 11 with, trying to explain to Hopper what happened. We got the Demogorgon bleeding. How'd that happen? Oh, it's Karen hurt it with its wine. I was like, that's such a good line. She delivers it so well.
Yeah, the way she turns away, just a cat,
She doesn't realize how relevant.
Yeah, but my runner-up was Hopper complaining about the hoodie. I don't remember exactly. I didn't write down word for word what he actually said, but he's like, did you use the tunnel? How'd you get to the Wheeler's house? And he's like, oh, Nancy drove me.
Oh, yeah.
Nancy drove. I was wearing a hoodie. Oh, great. All we had to do was put a hoodie on you. We would have been fine. No need for these elaborate tunnels.
Yeah. And then when Dr. K gets the picture, and it's just clear as day face of 11, but she's got a hoodie on.
Right? Oh, that helps. Yeah.
That was funny.
No, that's my funny moment. That whole conversation there was great when it starts. So yeah,
nice.
Yeah, and the Great Scott thing, but we covered that enough. Yeah.
Kathleen?
Oh man, well,
Kathleen feeler moment.
I kind of had a hard time picking a feeler moment. There's some obvious feeler moments in this episode, but it took me a while to settle on something. And what really got me was, again, re-watching the episode, and I'm going to focus on Nancy here. Okay. Somebody I don't really do feeler moments with very often.
Yeah, I can't think of
She's
one.
such a like tough person, and she's always like take charge and gets things done. So I don't feel like you have as many opportunities for feeler moments with her. And this is going to be the first scene when she's like comes to the house and sees her mom dead from the Demogorgon. And initially, like, I didn't think much of it. She's just the same take charge. Yeah, like she sees her mom in blood and that's horrible. It's what you would expect her reaction to be. But she's like still move into action, classic Nancy. It isn't until she's telling Eleven to go back and go into the Upside Down. She's go. The tone that she uses when she says that has this like desperation in it that it like betrays her, stoic, let's get things done, and shows just how terrified she is. Like, please, oh my God, I'm going to lose my mom. Don't let me lose my sister too. And it just brings to the perspective of what she must be going through. Like, it really makes you think like, oh my gosh, she just saw her mother blood streaked across the floor, totally cut open, like she looks almost dead, and her sister is gone. She doesn't even know about her dad at this point. Like, how awful that would be. And yes, she's strong, and yes, she still takes charge, but she is still feeling all the feelings.
I love it. A little bit of terror fills in there.
Yeah.
Amongst the steely reserve of Nancy Wheeler. All right. My music moment. Well, I know I had mentioned my runner-up was the moment where Joyce and Will are talking at the table. They're doing their whole season 2 bit. There's very season 2 music, ambient and gritty and dark and moody. The music fully stops, and then Robin makes her comment, and then we get like a much more peppy, connect the dots type of music. That was my runner-up. But my actual music moment is the meat wall.
Oh.
It's the meat wall, and we get this synthesized score. It's a mix between like Danger, which is what we call the Stranger Things honk. Bong, bong.
Yeah.
But it's not that. It's more John Williams. It's more brassy. It's more alive. It's more, dare I say, Jurassic Park.
Oh.
Let's take a listen to it here as Hopper and 11 come across the meat wall for the first time.
What is it?
So those are all synthesizers. They're like oscillators with filters on them. They make them feel alive. There's these different parts, detuned and off time. The synthesizer could play everything perfectly on key, but they're doing it off key and out of tune and off time on purpose to give that sense of danger. But mostly what I notice is brassy. It's got horn to it.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying not to say horny.
It's not horny.
It reminds me of the raptor attack stuff in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And John Williams is the one true king of 80s music, but he hasn't been particularly referenced in the score before.
Oh, so you'd think it's a nod to John Williams?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'm seeing that or if because I wanted it to be a dinosaur because of my predictions. I'm just seeing this, but there's just a real, we haven't heard brassy stuff like that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like mixed with a little bit of Stranger Things too. I like that.
Good grumble.
Definitely you still got the vintage synths, the vintage filters. There's a lot of good stuff there. All right, MVP of the episode. I'm going to go first and say it's actually Lucas.
Oh.
I think because we talked about it so much, that's why I went first, but Mike and Nancy are spiraling out and Lucas sets them back on track.
Yeah.
And I think without that, I think Nancy and Mike were actually going to fracture there and maybe because there's so much emotional toil on them as their parents have just been gored and wheeled back. I feel like they were going to fracture. And Lucas is like, we got to focus. We got to make a plan. We don't know what all these things. I just feel that was so important. It was probably it was that key moment of the week.
Yeah. I mean, this one's a tough one, but I kind of going with Robin on this one.
Okay. Back to back for Robin, or
I went Mike last episode.
Okay.
But I think getting Robin to like push Will to get away from Joyce.
Yes.
Was really, really important to the whole arc of the volume 1 here. And she does it so nicely, like she just kind of tricks Joyce and then she like completely convinces Will, like, trust yourself. Like, let's go do this. You got a goddamn antenna on your head.
Yeah.
We might as well use it,
Right.
And I think it's really good the way she did it. She should have left a note. We'll get there on the next episode. But I think her giving Will some sort of strength to like follow your idea here. Like, let's go. This is your plan. You kind of want it. You had the ambition. You got the idea. You got the power.
Nice.
Go with it.
Both of us giving out MVP in a very unsports way, where this sports always give the glory to Mike and Nancy in my situation, or Will in your situation, but we're giving it to the supporting cast.
Yeah.
The people who move them forward.
I love a supporting cast.
And I'm going to go with the glory here. I'm going to say Nancy. Although Robin was my runner-up. I was thinking because that's where their relationship starts, hers and Will's, which is going to be so important later, obviously. But it's Nancy because she always just gets stuff done. Oh, we have to do this. Boom. Let's do it. Let's get to my parents' house. Let me like hold my mom until the like ambulance gets here at 11. You go into the upside down. Like, she's dictating all of the things. And you need that. You need somebody taking charge and giving direction.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, another episode down. We'll be back next week for the Turnbow Trap.
Let's go.
My name is Miles.
I'm Kathleen.
I'm Kirk.
Again.